Thank you. Hello everybody, my name is CraigBennettII and I'm the founder and owner of TechFusion, and today we are taking a look at Rogue System. Rogue System is a early access game. It's currently on Steam, recently was released, and it is around $30 at this time. This is a hardcore space simulator, and in this video we're going to cover on how to start up your system, your ship, how to undock it, and possibly how to redock it if we have enough time. But anyways, let's jump on in, and we'll be doing the third tutorial mission without the tutorials in there. So I just want to mention something real quick. I've tried recording this like 4 times actually. First time there was some issue where with it being full screen, it only took this shot, and anything else, like anything beyond that, didn't even do it. So yeah, you're gonna have to deal with this border. Sorry. Hopefully a developer can work on that. I put in a request on Steam for them to make it full screen window, and I prefer to play games with full screen window because this is easier on me. But and I'm pretty sure it's going to happen. Again, it's beta, or it's early access. It's basically a beta. But and here's the number. But and everything with my screen capture, there was problems where the audio didn't sync, and we're talking about way off, where my voice would cover one section, the system sound would be another, and it's just off. And I couldn't fix it. So there was that, and we're trying again. Each time I've done this, I've tried to actually do it as quick as possible. Each time I've done this, we're looking at about a 30 to 40 minute. There's no way I can get this quicker because we're taking off. We're going from starting up the thing, taking off, getting a good distance, then coming back and flipping around and do all the stuff and putting it back to dock. I've done that 3 times now, and this is going to be the last. So, good, bad, or indifferent. That's it. So, as far as that goes, let's go in. This is the Newtonian type game. Basically, it uses the laws of physics, specifically Newtonian. And those doors, both of them, they will be accessible later. Keep in mind, this is actually one of the first integrations. The game's worked on. I don't know how big the team is, but I think it's like real small, like one person type of small. They probably got a couple people helping them out, but for the most part, this is really good for a very small team, and I'm very happy to say that I actually look forward to it for a while. Now, one thing I want to mention is I can hit any of the buttons from here, even though I'm not in the chair, so it's kind of cool where you don't have to have that. In mid-flight, I can get out of that chair just fine, as long as it's in this position. So let's go into the pilot seat, and what we want to do is go put the chair in the right mode and put in the instrument lights. And the first thing we want to do is flip that cover and turn on the battery. And what's going to happen is soon enough, a alert's going to happen, and we're going to have to click that. Simple as that. Now we need to do the same with battery 2, just to start that up. Notice that the charge is going down, and what we need to do is really so nothing's on system bus 1 or 2, and what we need to do is put everything on system bus, the battery on system bus 1, battery 1. You can see it discharging. We can put it on system bus 2, but it'll discharge it much faster. It's just better if we can just put the go ahead and turn that on. It's not going to charge it right now, but it's worthwhile to have it on for when it does, so we don't have to deal with that. And notice that as we do that, this will turn blue, which means it's being powered, and then those will turn green, which means they're being powered. Now notice that the stuff is draining. To stop it, we need to connected to the external power. We're connected to the station right now, as seen here. So from here, we can just hit that. It stops it from draining. Battery 2 doesn't do that. So keep that in mind. Now we need to deal with fusion cells. This is good, and I'm just turning that on right now, so you'll see that. And this is good if this goes out. So it's a backup for that. I'm not going to get too deep into it, but it's worthwhile to note that there's a lot of backup systems. And if you turn on the fusion cell, fuel cells very quickly, when it's not heated up, then you're going to cause problems. Same thing with this. It will cause problems. And in fact, a lot of these things, they require you to heat it up, warm it up, or whatever in order to turn on, or otherwise it'll break or cause problems. So from here, what we need to do is simply go and flip that and see it charging up and whatever, and go from there. Now, since this does take forever, what we need to do is go ahead and hit that and tell it to heat up while we wait. And as you see here, it heats up. And I like these flaps. And in case you didn't see that, you can see it says unsafe if it's open, and doesn't say anything if it's closed. So here, what we need to do is turn on the cooling system, and that way we don't fry everything. So let's go ahead and click that and put that normal. So we powered up the bladders and put that normal. And let's do the same thing there. And let's turn on the interior floodlight so it makes it a little bit easier to see. So from here, what we need to do is, let's go into the comms. So we powered up the comms, powered up that, the transmitter, and let's power up the Havoc while we're here, so it makes it livable, and it's made for us. So as far as that goes, let's go ahead and call up the station. Let's check in. Our dialogue is right here, so we can see our back and forth and read it later. And as we can see here, let's just tell them that we need to request that. And let's turn on the RCM, let that do its thing, and pressurize all those tanks. Check that pressure. Okay, so I saw yellow one of them. Wasn't sure it's messing up. And then let's turn on the MTS so we can move while we're out there. And what does it say? Yeah, it's telling us to turn this off. Let's turn on the nav system and have the autopilot ready. And what we want to do is enable that and validate that. And one thing to note is that autopilot's ready. Is we're on tank 2. We need to be on tank 4. I forgot what tank 2 has in it, but we need to be on tank 4. And as you see here, they're fussing at us for some reason. They're not supposed to be fussing at us, whatever. But with that, we need to validate the. We also need to turn on the purge. So validate both of those, and let's tie everything in and start charging up these batteries. And let's see here, that's charging up just fine. In fact, I might wait until that's fully charged. That way we don't get stuck out there. It's probably not going to happen, but who knows. So let's turn on this to help the system, the MES. You don't have to turn on this, by the way. It's just, I try to keep all this stuff going. And let's hit these 3. And basically what this does is y'all roll and hold. Because we're dealing with Newtonian, every action has an equal and opposite reaction. So if you tell it to roll y'all or whatever, then it will keep doing that. So you'll hit it once, it will keep doing that, and that stops it. And that only interacts with that. So other things, yeah, you got to keep that in mind. Let's turn on the nav lights. And let's turn on the display and have that up. I wonder if I can get it to do that again. It's probably warmed up, so I don't know. Let's leave it off for a second or two. Yeah, it's warmed up. When it warms up, it'll flicker like that. This is basically like a TV. What we want to do is have this on. If we look around, we can see different aspects. And what we're looking at here is the station right above the port. In fact, I might actually leave it on this so we can see it disconnect when it does. Let's put it over here so I can actually read this crap. And let's tell them that we're ready for departure. So we disconnected that and still charging up. We're good here. Oh, we need to pressurize that. So we can actually leave and move. And let's go ahead and tell them we are ready. And they're going to give us code real quick. Just waiting for them to okay me. So they okayed me. Just give me a departure frequencies. I forgot the last number. I think it was 3. Yep. Two. And we're trying to set that as local. Go to that. So it's going to release us. And as you see here, there we go. Go to this camera, and as you see here, we're leaving right there, and we're going to be docking on the other side, so that's one thing to keep in mind. And this is a training station and whatever, so there's no one else here, and this is too early. There's no other ships in this game right now that I know of. There's other ships that you can fly, at least there was in the previous version, but as far as this goes, right now there's no real AIs flying around. That will be implemented later. So what we're looking at is this range. We want it to be 200, and we're looking at this. Basically what you're seeing is right here is my up and down, so plus or minus depending, it's up and down, so it's saying I'm not going up or down, left or right. So if I'm moving left or right, like purely left or right, and this is saying that if I am moving, plus is forward, so I'm looking at the back. If we want to look at forward, so it's this direction. Looking at the back, it's there, but that's a big thing to keep in mind. Now with that, what we can do is press that a few times, and if you look on the outside when it happens, I'm not going to do it because I need to keep concentrated on what I'm doing, and I don't want to go out of whack, because again, it takes a long time for me to get it back. But what we want to do is, if you take a look at back here while you're moving around, you can actually see flames coming off. So taking a look at this stuff real quick, you can see that and you can see it increasing as I tell it, hey, we want to leave. And let's leave it at that, because keep in mind we gotta go and do the reverse to cancel that out. We might actually want to start doing a reverse so I don't go too far away, so it makes it a little bit quicker. We're aiming for 200. Alright, let's cancel this out. That's what I mean. Alright, so we canceled it out, and as you see here, it's getting closer because we're just at minus 0.01, and just that little bit saying, yeah, you're going to get closer. So we're going to do another transmission saying, hey, I want to return. We're going to get a whole new set of things. I think this one is 200. Yeah, it's actually even marked it. What do you want me? So let's tell them that we want to approach. They're going to give me a private frequency. So we want to do 2. And let's communicate with that. So we're checking in. Let's go ahead and tell this to go in. Alright, so what we want to do is that, and so we got a right frequency. You want to pause it right now and go to controls, system, ship, and flight controls. What we need is this. I'm going to move this over to my arrow keys, so it makes it a little bit easier for me. But basically, translate up and down is literally going straight up, straight down, left, right, same thing. And for alt is back. And then if we need to pitch, we need to keep all these in mind, which we will. We'll have to actually rotate the entire thing, and it's a complete pain, but we'll get it done. So let's go ahead and notice that this number right here, so that's what we're looking at for going up and down. It's very difficult, very difficult to figure out if I think we're not down far enough. Unfortunately, you gotta look out here. And it has to be pitch perfect. I think that's far enough. So I'm trying to zero that out. So we zero that out. We're not going down anymore. I'm going to wait until I stop so I can turn this around and rotate it. Because I know it will take you left, right, whatever. It'll act all weird like. And I'm going to change the display to say forward. And you notice that the range is going down and then it'll go back up. All right, give it a bit. There we go. We starting to see the edge. And what we need to do is slow that puppy down. Oh yeah, we're way past it. Come on, there we go. It's kind of zeroed out. So what we want to do now is very difficult. Is we need to flip the entire ship around like that. Oh, crap. It's too far. And you're hearing different sounds it has to deal with if we're correct. And this can only be plus or minus 3 for the alignment, and we got to really have it accurate. And then it's like a 0.02 or something stupid low for it when you're going in. So from here, we need to turn the ship around. Notice the y-axis on the left. It has to be fully turned around. Get a little rainbow effect on screen. That's pretty cool. Notice some of the numbers are changing. The minus 35 on the right. Alright, overshot it a bit. Let's tell it to go back. Alright, so we're within range. Let's get as close as possible. And that's why I got the autopilot on, so I could just hit one button instead of having 2 or 3 and going back forward type of thing, because it's just annoying as all out. And this X is fortunately good, so we don't have to go tilt it up or down. It's good enough. It's good enough. So what we need to do is go straight up. It's above us, right? Where is the thing? Oh, no, it's below us, sorry. Sorry about that. So it's below us. And I think we're looking at the wrong view. Let's switch that. There we go. And that's a way to tell it here, by the way, so we can see forward and aft. Let's let it go down a bit. Alright, and we're going to fix this a bit. Go on left. And once you figure out these numbers on what they mean, it becomes a lot easier. Trust me, it becomes a lot easier once you figure out what these numbers mean. So there's that. Alright, so I wanted to slow that a bit. And let's tell it to go to the left. Remember, we're looking at the back, so it's like driving a car. You want to go left, you hit right, so you turn steering wheel right. So it's fairly similar. Alright, let's go down a bit more. As you look at my numbers, you can see I'm just looking at the numbers, making sure everything is good there. Focusing on that blue cross right there. And we're going to go forward. Slow down a bit. And it takes time to go in. I'm gonna get pretty close to here. If you bump the station, I think you can move it. I think I bumped it a few times and it moved, not in this go around, but on one of my previous ones, and it made it a complete pain. So I'm trying to go about 20. go straight. Like right here, I'm looking at 30 minutes being recorded right now. Just at the 30-minute mark right now. And this is just one section. So this is not a quick process at all. I imagine when the full game comes out, it's going to be very similar. You can pause it. So like I can pause it right here and just walk away if I need to. There's supposed to be a multiplayer section. It's definitely going to need the autopilot, in my opinion. Ooh. That's slow. Alright, I'm stopping that from moving. And what we're going to do is we're going to fix this. Go down. Just slightly. Wrong way. Again. Like a car. Let's just allow it to go in a little bit. Just tell it to go left a little, up a little. Alright, let's stop it again. I want it to that's what I'm talking about. It's like you can easily just have one just gotta go left a little, or bend right a little. Go down. Just gotta go down a little bit more. Left a little. And since it's rotating, we gotta work pretty fast trying to get in. It's basically stopping it. Trying to get in as soon as possible before it gets out of line. Alright, there we go. We're in. And let's see here. So there's that. And basically shutting it down is like reverse before we tell it to do all of that. We power down the fuel cells. We go and power off the coolant and last. We want to power, let's see. We want to power off that, disable that, allow that to go like that. And unfortunately I didn't show this portion, but what would end up happening is you'll click that far enough away and you would hit that. So you'll have to have that down, but you'll click that and that would cause it to ignite. But we don't have that. So as you see here, it even tells you how much of the tank has been used and everything. So we want to click that, and that unchecks all that. Kill that because we want it to be none. Alright, we disable, well actually we don't have to disable all that. Go ahead and disable that. Go ahead and turn off the lights. Turn on the flood lights, interior flood. We can keep the communications up if you want. It's really up to you. So like right here, we can turn that on or off. It's really up to you. Let's see here. Let's turn that off. So that stopped a lot of power. And yeah, that's about it. I think I forgot to turn this off, but it will just been clicking that, and that's pretty much about it. But anyways, as far as that goes, that's it. If you got any questions on this, then let me know, and I'll try to answer as quickly as possible. And let's go ahead and turn this on real quick, see if I can show you guys that. Oh, that sucks. It can't reheat up. But yeah, so like I said, you just click that and disable that. And stuff goes back there anyway, so we can just do all that. But anyways, as far as that goes, if you've got any questions or anything else, then let me know, and I'll try to answer as quickly as possible. It's been CraigBennettII, founder and owner of TechViewsNope. I'll have links to the Steam page for this, and also I will have a link to the developer's YouTube channel, so you can check out when he posts new things there. And he does get back to you and all that, so it's worthwhile to note. And feel free to leave questions and tell me if you like this game, if you play it, any tips or tricks that you got for people, and so on. And also if you know of any other games like this, I might be interested into it. Anyways, see you later. And check out my other videos. See you later.